If it allows you to win the game with checkmate, you'll sacrifice a pawn.
Could the Israeli government have had prior knowledge of the attacks from Hamas? Andrew Tate thinks so.
I do find it extremely suspicious that the most feared intelligence agency on earth didn't manage to detect an invasion.
This was clearly planned by Hamas for months, given the scale and scope. But what is truly shocking is that the Israelis seem to have no idea this was coming.
What if I told you that Israel helped create Hamas?
Hamas was encouraged and really started by Israel because they wanted Hamas to counteract Yasser Arafat.
Conspiracy nonsense? Or could there be a tactical reason for allowing an enemy to attack you to a certain extent? Apparently Winston Churchill was warned that Coventry would be bombed, and there are similar details about Pearl Harbour and American prior knowledge to that attack. The Brits allowed the attack on Coventry to happen because preventing it would have revealed the fact that they had cracked the Enigma code and would give away the advantage they had over the Nazis. Could something similar be true of the Israel-Hamas situation?
A year ago, there was a military operation in Gaza to prepare for such events, and ongoingly there are trainings for these kind of scenarios. This raises serious questions for me anyway about Israeli intelligence. What happened? 2 years ago, there was a successful deployment of underground barriers with sensors to alert exactly on these kind of terrorist breaches. Israel has one of the most advanced and high-tech armies. How come there was zero response to the border and fence breaching? I cannot understand that.
How did Israeli intelligence services seemingly fail to detect Saturday's attack by Hamas? Well, retired US Army Lieutenant General Mark Schwartz served as the US Security Coordinator for Israel and the Palestinian Authority until 2021. He spoke to us about the serious failure of intelligence.
I think what the assessment is now after 72 hours post-attack, the level of discipline that Hamas exercised in staying off of technical communications to plan this operation, this raid that they actually conducted incursion into Israel and the terrorist acts that followed. I think that was the key, is that they're an enemy and a terrorist organization that learns not only from other terrorist organizations in the region, but also from their own experiences.
אני שירתתי כסמב"צית חי"ר במהלך מלחמת צוק איתן. אני שירתתי באוגדת עזה. כל השירות שלי היה תומכת לחימה בזמן מלחמת צוק איתן שעזה הייתה באוגדת עזה. תקשיבו לי ותקשיבו לי טוב. אין מצב בעולם שיכולה להיות כזאת התקרבות לגדר, אוקיי? מבלי שאנחנו לא נדע מזה. התצפיתניות יושבות בבונקרים 4 שעות, הן לא יכולות לעשות ככה. הן מול מסך. לא יכול להיות מצב, שום מצב, שהיו מעירים אותי בלילה על יונה. על חסידה שהתקרבה לגדר, על מקק שעבר מתחת לגדר, היו מקפיצים את כל הגזרה. איך נכנסו עם טרקטורים?
Personally, I served in the IDF 25 years ago in the intelligence forces. There's no way, in my view, that Israel did not know of what's coming. A cat moving alongside the fence is triggering all forces. So this? What happened to the strongest army in the world? How come border crossings were wide open? Something is very wrong here. Something is very strange. This chain of events is very unusual and not typical for the Israeli defense system. So to me, this surprise attack seems like a planned operation on all fronts. This is a failure to protect the people of Israel, for sure. Perhaps the biggest failure since the Yom Kippur War exactly 50 years ago, if not bigger. By the way, is it a coincidence it's exactly 50 years ago, almost on the day? The Yom Kippur War was on October 6, 1973. If I was a conspiracy theorist, I would say that this feels like the work of the deep state. If I was a conspiracy theorist, it feels like the people of Israel and the people of Palestine have been sold once again to the higher powers that be.